Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Redeemables Podcast, a podcast where we take movies that are rated 50 or below and decide whether they're pretty good or we nail them to the cross. This is Season 3.
Wow!
Season 3, I've gone off cusp here.
In your face, haters!
When we first got together, I thought, we'll do 5 eps, we'll get a bit bored and just go our separate ways.
Yeah, me
and
too.
here we are, fucking 3 years later.
Well, people at work had an office sweep on how it would go out. Yeah. Like whether it would be banned from the premises, a violent incident.
Murder-suicide, yeah.
Whether Duff would just forget to show up.
Yeah, I'm shocked that hasn't happened.
8 weeks in a row.
There's been a few times where I go, oh, fuck, I better watch the movie. It's a funny story because the movie we watched tonight, I finished watching it today at 7 o'clock.
Ah, you still off work?
What?
You still off work?
No, finished work, rushed home.
Watched it at work.
Because funny story, I forgot to watch it.
Yeah.
Put it on last night, 11:30.
That's late.
Fell asleep immediately.
It's late.
It's
late. And that's not anything against the film. It's just late. It's late.
Okay.
On a weeknight to put on a film, it's late.
Yeah, it's late.
It's a lifestyle thing. It's nothing to do
The
with
only movie I'd put on at 11:30 p.m. on a weeknight, and I do it. I did it the other night.
Requiem for a
I
Dream.
usually look for
Old school.
No. I go for like a Frank Grillo.
You put on a Frankie?
Yeah, I put on a Frank at that time of night because I know I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
And that's not offensive to Frank.
No. You want to fall asleep with Frank?
Yeah, I want to fall
Who
asleep
does?
with Frank.
I tell you what, I fell
His
asleep
jacked body.
during the middle of the day, like 9 times too. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you not been enjoying it?
Oh, the 9 times I watched it.
Are you watching it in chapters?
No, yeah. I wish I didn't. I wasn't a fan.
Okay.
Wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
But it was okay.
Yeah, no, that's
Right.
good.
It's a film.
Yeah, I couldn't watch Napoleon, so I watched that.
Right.
So,
Great
Season
choice.
3.
You're making good choices, bud.
Special episode. We got 3 hosts. I'll be part 1. Ken will be part 2. BJ will be part 3.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm with saying that I am your host, Duff,
Oh,
Yeah,
and I'm with the local farm boy who just wants to go home, BJ,
I do. I'll do a French accent, but I'm not going to accents aren't my thing.
and the guy that wears a necklace full of ears and he's all ears, Kenny.
I'm all ears.
I've got a couple of
Thanks for
questions
having me.
about the adornment, the ear adornment.
Oh,
I liked it.
Yeah.
So we are doing the movie the viewers chose, Universal Soldier.
Yep.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. This is a viewer's choice app.
The viewers' choice.
Choice.
Well, it was a
didn't-
close one too.
In fairness, we didn't give him a lot of choice or perhaps great choice.
I
but
gave
here we are.
Universal Soldier and Ghost in the Darkness.
Yeah,
What's not to
I
like?
threw up a couple of curveballs.
The illusion of choice.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I'll talk about Rebel Moon later.
Okay.
I won.
This is Universal Soldier, 1992.
Universal Soldier.
What the hell did they do to you?
Don't know. But I'm going to find out. One can't be controlled. Buckle up. The other cannot be stopped.
This mission has been canceled.
I'm giving the orders from now on. I'm gonna teach them all. Are we having fun yet? The ultimate weapons of the future have declared war on each other. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren, Universal Soldier.
Stop, that is an order.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it feels like
Really?
a 1992.
Oh, so we're doing like a 32 year anniversary.
Yeah, it's a number.
Guys, we've gone through this. We don't do math.
Yeah, we
Okay.
shouldn't, especially on the fly.
You're right.
This has a disgusting Metacritic score of 35.
Does it really?
Saw that.
But
Shame on the internet.
shame. Big time shame. But he used the score of 61, which is pretty good. It's
Yeah.
almost double.
Yeah.
Almost double. We
We were
don't do
doing
maths.
maths. We
It's not
said
that
we
high.
would do this.
All right. I also
Thought
looked
it'd
up.
be higher than that because this was a fucking cult movie.
It was so well known.
Everyone has seen this in the 90s.
Was it a
Everyone.
cult movie at the films, or do you think it was a cult movie after the films?
The cinema was a thing in 92.
I reckon it would have gone well at the movies. Are we doing this already? Or are you
No,
going to
no,
give me a plot?
So I looked at the wiki, okay?
Yeah.
And I normally do a wiki review, and I said, no, I'm fucking not doing it because I had to write it down.
Before you do it, can I just ask, does it say the word super soldiers?
Yes.
You had me at super soldiers.
So I combined wiki and the plot and did my own wiki.
Okay.
Oh, good.
So maybe
Okay, fuck it. Season
It's a-
3. Do whatever you want.
Duff wiki.
Oh,
I like it. A
Or
dickie.
A dickie. It's like
Watch
year
the
7 all
Dickie
over again.
synopsis.
Dickie's on the ball.
Give me a bit of Dickie.
Okay. Universal Soldier is a 1992 American war military science fiction action film.
Oh, yeah, words.
Put it in me.
Yep.
Directed by Roland Emmerich,
Yeah, great.
which fucking surprised me.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Same.
And starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren, and Ali Walker.
Yep.
That's all I got from Wiki. The rest I did myself.
Okay.
The film revolves around 2 Vietnam vets that are brought back to life as super soldiers. Fuck.
yes.
Put it in me. I was really excited. I'm doing this pod without a Red Bull, and I'm really excited.
Wow, this is natural buzz.
Mate, look,
I'm high on life.
I haven't stuttered once. Maybe the Red Bull's my fucking problem.
Ken and I have been saying that off mic for a bit. Which
Years we've been
it's
saying
all we talk
since
about.
first ep of season 1.
Literally 90%
We
of
said
our
maybe you
conversations.
shouldn't be having the Red Bull.
We just send each other a survey regularly. Is Duff too jacked up?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah, because I just fucking stutter and fucking like lose control and get a cramp.
We'll put a poll on X. We'll see what the people say.
Okay, so we got a budget here. You want to guess? It is 1992.
Yeah.
Carrots were 5 cents back in those
Yeah,
days.
there were. There was some good shit happening though. There's some pretty big stuff.
Yeah.
I want to say, give me 28.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm factoring in how early it was in the careers of the main people. Really.
Fuck, they look young.
Yeah. Yeah. For dead people. I'm going to go 38.
23.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
shit!
yeah,
they
it's
did
roundabout.
They did a lot with 23.
Yeah.
It looks good. It
I've
holds
got
up.
I've got some thoughts on that
fucking
as well.
holds up.
Oh man, yeah, it really does.
There's
it
only
really
a couple of bits where I was like,
Yeah.
but anyway, we'll get to that.
So I've got 2 GBOs. I've got because IMDb for some reason only gave me the American box office, which is fucking weird. Maybe
Xenophobia. That's why.
maybe so in America it made 36 million.
Okay.
That's good.
So what do you think the actual real GBO was?
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide!
I don't think it would be a heap more, like probably 50 total, including America. I'd say
Yeah,
50.
it's probably pretty close. I would say 60 just to throw it
Yeah.
out.
Thank you.
So it is a massive cult. It got 95 million.
Right.
Which is huge.
Global. GBO.
Yeah.
Right,
So
Belgium would have loved
36.
it. Belgium would have loved it.
There is Austria.
There's not many movies that do
No, it's
like
Hitler that's from Austria.
I get confused.
half the American budget, but this has blown the American budget out of the water.
Yeah.
A difference
That's
of,
incredible.
I don't really know, 60 million. So there you go.
Yeah, we're not doing math.
About that.
Fuck. People tuning in for the math are going to be so disappointed.
The kill count
Oh. Right, well, including people that are resurrected.
before you guess,
Yeah.
I couldn't find a fucking thing unless I watched a 6-minute video. I didn't have that time. I just finished the movie fucking half an hour ago.
6 minutes. That's some deep
I
research.
didn't have the 6 minutes.
So you've got a figure that you just thought was about right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair. No, why not? Why
I'm
not?
thinking of a number
It's as
between
good as
1
these-
and 100 go.
No, I'm not. I'm also not saying that these websites we've been visiting can be entered as empirical evidence either. So I don't really care.
I just think, what do we all think the kill
43.
count
I was going to say mid 30s. I was going to say 30.
Yeah, I was going to
43%
say
burn.
Should I
30
Google
to
it?
40.
We could Google it on the fly.
I tried to Google
Oh, I
it,
was saying you did, but you couldn't get right.
and it was just all YouTube videos and like, I found a character, and I didn't want to add them up.
Nah,
I do want
let's
a
say it's-
clarification. Like if they die twice, does that count as 2 kills?
I believe so, because it's
Right.
movie deaths.
So
yeah?
double up.
This is a tricky movie.
Yeah. No, fuck. We're mathing so much.
Yeah.
We for a pod that said they wouldn't do math.
Yeah, this is like one of those. This is like one of those things you see on the internet where it's like, Jill bought an apple and a donut, and the apple was $1, and she spent $1.50. How much was the donut?
Yeah.
And you go, it's
$5.
50 cents. And then they're like, nah, it's not because of this. And you're like,
Idiot.
oh, fuck off.
That's what the I'm having flashbacks. I literally got kicked out of maths because I
That's the,
complained about this shit so much.
That's the kill count of this movie.
Honestly, I was like, I was the kid saying, when are we ever going to use the algebra? And they're like, what if you're at the shops and you want to know how many oranges you can get for $2? And I go, if I'm worried about how many oranges I can get for $2, I've failed at life.
Yeah.
Algebra is the least of my fucking problems at that point.
I was really good at math until we got to triangles. Struggled with triangles.
Just really throws you.
like
Pythagoras.
rectangle, Pythagoras. Is that what it's
Pythagoras.
called?
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's
Was he a philosopher?
That's a mythical creature. Though.
Yeah,
It's half
no,
man,
but
half
he was
bird.
good with angles.
Oh, is he? Did he fly close to the sun?
Yeah, that's him. He's in Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson. He's a fucking lightning thief. That fella.
All right, what do we
Okay,
We are so far off the rails. Season 3 off the rails.
taglines. This is there's 4 taglines. 3 good ones.
3 written by Duff.
And you got Super Soldier in them.
None of these are mine.
Surely they've all got Super Soldier.
Yeah, just all you need to tell us.
Nah, the first one, which I think is just the fucking pits. The future has a bad attitude.
Shit,
That sucks.
that's so bad.
That sucks.
Is
Apart
it
from
even
anything
the
else,
future?
it's about to
Oh,
say. Apart from
I
anything else,
guess-
it's set in the present.
I guess the future from 1969. The fuck, those cunts
Yeah,
were
but
on
they
ice
weren't
for
set
a long time.
And it's
C-bombed, first one of the
we don't need to dive too deep in it. Let's just all
Yeah, that's bad.
That sucks.
Oh, I like this one. Almost human, almost perfect, almost under control.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Now
yes.
we're talking.
Also, my new bio on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's good.
I guess.
That's good. Those job offers will roll in.
Fucking people are pretty desperate, let me tell you.
They may be dead, but the mission is still alive.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good, because that's my one.
Oh, really?
That's good.
You've missed your
Oh,
calling.
done.
You really missed your calling.
The ultimate weapons of the future have just declared war on each other.
Not
Too
bad.
wordy.
It's definitely the almost perfect, yeah?
Yeah,
but,
that's
but your one's
great.
good.
Yeah.
I would
Thank
be
you.
happy with that. Yeah, your
Yeah.
one's great.
Liked it.
And that is me done hosting.
Oh, wow.
There's no other figures.
All right, kick back.
What do we got? Yeah, relax.
back.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll take I'll take it from here.
I've got 47 pages of notes.
I've only got one because I'm just doing the critic reviews,
Right.
and as we know, it didn't get received well.
No.
So I'll start from the top here. We've got Rene Rodriguez from the Miami Herald. He says,
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
think so.
Renee is French, yeah?
Yeah, Rene. That's
What's it
the
from?
man version.
Is it Montreal, Ken?
He could be from Montreal.
He
yeah.
could be from
Yeah,
Montreal.
or
So
Quebec.
moved from Montreal
Oh,
to Miami
might be
for
Quebec.
Quebec.
I think he's from Quebec.
Oh,
No, he's
I
actually
thought
from
he in
Miami.
Quebec,
So
Well, he
he
lives there now,
says,
but he might be transplant.
you not with the surname Rodriguez.
He swam from Cuba.
He's fucking from Miami, trust me. All right, so he says, Universal Soldier, for all its sound and fury, isn't much fun. Yeah, which is a
Right.
shame.
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good time.
Sound and Fury.
Yes.
It's also a Clutch album.
It is. Yeah. It's a common phrase, I think. So we'll move on. He gave it 25.
Yeah.
Next, we have Anonymous from the Hollywood Reporter.
Put your name on it.
As we know, they
But this
always
has gotta
the
be a
Anonymous is
fucking-
always.
Let's call
harsh.
them
Yeah,
chicken
yeah.
shit. Let's
Fucking
refer to them as chicken shit.
So I'll start by saying Chicken Shit gave it 20.
Yeah.
And Chicken Shit says, it's a bad memory trip through the wasteland of movies past, swamped with bonehead dialogue, stock parts, cookie cutter romance, and gunk to the gills with generic techno drool.
You know what she said?
I don't think it's any like.
Right.
I don't know
That's-
I don't know where the cookie cutter romance bit came in because there was no romance.
There's a little bit of
It's-
there's
Oh,
a little bit.
there's a little bit of tiny bit of tension, but it's not romance.
They were definitely going to bang it out, but,
No, but- yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
but,
romance.
yeah, but then they just hugged.
Are we talking about the difference between making love and
Yeah.
fucking? Is that what we're talking
If
about? Right?
she,
We are.
if she had sex with this man, is she what those people call in the business a...
Sex worker?
Necrophilia.
That's it.
Oh.
That's it. Universal Soldier, necrophilia.
And then he goes on to say, or
Question
Chicken
mark.
Shit goes on to say, gunked to the gills with generic techno drool.
No.
I'm like, I don't think it was at
Disagree.
all. It was
Strongly disagree.
Even in '92, this would have been pretty simple.
Yeah.
like it's not a hard concept.
No.
They're brought back to life. They wear an earpiece that tells them what to
Controls
do,
them, yeah.
and they got a little camera so whoever's controlling can see. I would hardly say that's high tech.
No.
No.
Maybe
They
they
landed
did
on the moon in the '60s, man.
Maybe
Did they though?
No, they didn't. That's another part.
Maybe they did this review in 1992 before mobile phones and fucking Google Maps. I noticed that a lot. None of the phones work. Pull out your mobile, you dickhead.
Probably.
Also, I agree 100% on what he's saying, apart from the techno drill shit.
Okay.
And you
the-
know what? That's what makes me fucking love it.
Oh,
Yeah,
like the
okay.
bonehead
Yeah,
dialogue.
bonehead
and the
dialogue.
stock
Give it to me.
parts. Yeah. I hear you.
Give me a one-liner before a kill. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
This next one
You're
is
discharged,
from. This next one is from Ted Maha or Ma. He's from the Portland Oregonian.
Yep.
He's going to be sour.
He
It's always
says,
raining.
"Yeah." He says, "Universal Soldier is another Goonie banquet of violence composed almost entirely of leftovers. It's a Frankenstein monster of a movie with parts of a dozen or more films stitched and stapled together to make one lurching melodrama." 25.
Okay.
Same theme as the last one.
Yeah.
I thought
Also,
that-
it's
that's why
the
I
first
thought
time
I'd
anyone
include
from Portland hasn't mentioned polyamory.
Finished a sentence without mentioning polyamory.
But I've got to say, they're actually well-written
Yeah.
reviews.
Yeah.
I completely disagree with them, on the other hand.
I do too. I would like it. He says more than parts of a dozen or more films. I would like him to list those dozen or more.
I disagree
I could
with
see
that.
a couple of influences, but I
Yes.
certainly couldn't see a dozen or more films.
I think-
And I know that for a fact because we had to look up our for the mini. Not to break it too early, but we looked up our what is it? Our top
80
5
films.
action films.
Yeah.
And I was looking through them. I was
85
like,
to 95.
Yeah, 85. So 10 years of action films. I was like, no, there's not
You
really.
know, it's a mismatch probably of Jean-Claude Van Damme's later stuff.
Yes.
But he wouldn't know. Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Wait. Zombie journalist sent from the future.
Could be. And then I've got Steve Davis from the Austin Chronicle. He says, as the robotic duo, Lundgren and Van Damme have found roles tailored to their acting abilities. I just thought that was funny.
Okay. Yes, they have. That's a fact.
Yeah, I just thought that was good. He
and
gave it 30, by the way.
That's why it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
So,
no
yeah,
doubt
some-
about that.
Some tough stuff.
I
there.
also don't think that any of the people involved in this movie ever said they were going to be breaking new ground with this, or that they were expecting Van Damme and Lundgren to be putting in Daniel
They
Day-Lewis
just
type
went,
performances.
it's 1992. This
Yeah.
is what the last 10 years of action movies have looked like.
Yeah.
We're just stepping into sci-fi action at this point in time.
Yeah.
If you noticed that when I don't know
In the
when you guys
mainstream,
looked through it. Yeah.
T2, thank you, T2.
Yes, around this era was
Yep.
the T1 was probably the stepping stone where action merged with sci-fi. Let's go general discussion.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're at that point. So this was kind of like this was right at the beginning of that. Right around Demolition Man. What else we got there?
Total
Waterworld, Total Recall,
Yeah.
sci-fi action.
Sci-fi was big.
Yes.
It was, yeah, but
Yeah.
specifically sci-fi action with like a traditional like macho male
unit.
lead.
Macho
Yeah.
male lead, super annoying bad guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a fucking wicked villain.
Yeah.
That's what you can call it.
yeah.
So yeah, general discussion, guys. What did you like?
Look, straight off the top, I haven't seen this movie in a very, very long time.
I reckon it's been 10 plus years for me.
Yeah.
At least for me, yeah.
I was actually surprised to see, I associated it more with the 80s, so I was surprised to see it was a 90s movie, to be honest, when I revisited it. I think it's held up really, really well.
Yeah,
And I had
agree.
a blast.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
I remember my brothers and I had a recorded copy of. You know, when you had a video VHS recorder, you could record off TV.
Yeah.
So we had a recorded copy of that. So you'd have to sit there with the plugged-in remote and fast forward through the commercials.
Yeah.
But this was in there with one of our most watched. This one.
Yeah.
So it was T2, this Bad Boys, a couple of others, but
Jesus.
this was up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it.
I'm a big fan of this fucking movie. Like, I chose it because I knew if you revisit it, it'll still hold up, and it does, man. It's like, it's also very interesting seeing which actor can be the least shit, if that's a word.
Yeah.
But I'm not, they were terrible, but fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I actually thought Lundgren was fucking running hot, man.
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
This is
Van Damme
what I'm
just
about
didn't
to
get
say.
a lot to work with.
Lundgren is just eating up every scene he's in.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he took
Totally
this role
agree.
because it would have been after Rocky, Rocky 4?
Yeah.
Or was
Yeah.
this before Rocky 4?
No, Rocky 4 was his debut.
Yeah, this would have been after.
Yeah, so
for
it's
sure.
such a difference from that to this.
Yep.
It's just, he's chewing up the scenery, man. It's
These
unreal.
roles are almost perfectly tailored to their abilities. So they're like, okay, Van Damme, like saying, not a lot to do.
Just whisper for the
That's
first
a
half
choice.
of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got to show no emotion. You've got to be flat. You've literally got no act. Can you not act, please?
Yeah.
What we need to do is not act. And when we tell you to kick someone, we'll give you the signal. That's when you fucking kick them.
Yeah.
Right. So almost perfect. And then Lundgren can do that as well, but he also does seething so well
Yeah.
that they're like, I almost guarantee, I can't say this came up in my research, but they tweaked this script.
Yeah.
As they went along, after these guys were cast. Actually, I know they made one tweak where they put the backstory of the French backstory in to cover the guy having the guy in the American
accent.
military having the French accent. So they tweaked that script.
There's no one bit he goes, what accent or something? Didn't he say that?
Yeah, I've got
What
one of my
accent?
my points in the general discussion was that was one of my more amusing moments. She says something about the accent. He literally pulls over.
Yeah.
Like it's the first time anyone's mentioned it, and contemplates it for a minute. He's like, "Wait, I'm talking weird, aren't I?" It's like baguette. I'm like, oh, she just fucking blew this poor guy's mind. Like he's okay with the war shit and the science shit. He's like, wait.
Whoa,
And he's
whoa,
like,
Was Van Damme ever good in anything as an actor?
No.
Like I know we all love his movies, right?
JVCD.
So later career. I was wondering if someone would say that.
It was just
'cause he was quite good in that.
Gave it a crack.
Yeah.
And you know what? The movies he's in, he's a great actor. for the
for
movies,
what he has to do.
for
Yeah,
the movies.
Do you reckon he was maybe out of those guys? So let's say there's about 10 of them, right? Like Lundgren, Stallone at the time. He's obviously he's kind of a bit bigger than that now.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger at the time.
Yeah.
Who else we got there around that time?
We're throwing in Chuck Norris is probably done.
Chuck Norris. Oh, yeah, roundabouts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Van Damme was the worst of him, wasn't he?
Yeah,
As in,
Chuck
he
Norris
was
is
the
terrible
least
as well.
versatile.
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. No,
I won't hear a bad word said about
I
it.
thought Seagal. Actually,
Even
no,
the whole Putin.
Seagal was
What about the
same.
Putin? When he stabbed
Seagal
him?
is fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
So I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe Schwarzenegger and Stallone kind of transcended the rest, and
Yes.
the rest of them were all around the same. Although I reckon Lundgren's fucking good, but he was the villain too many times at the start, so maybe he just had a hard time. Transitioning
When we
into
go
the
through
fucking
cast and
hero.
crew, you can see where he gave that a shot, and unfortunately, he's ended up typecast. His career's gone great for the.
Well, it has. I mean, it's what do we say? We're 32 years later, and he's got 5 films coming out this year.
And he's
maxed out.
Yeah,
He made the Punisher, the first Punisher
Yeah.
of the.
Yeah.
So that's fucking a long time
Yeah.
before fucking Blade or any of that shit.
yeah,
Yes, yeah,
yeah. True.
So I think
So you guys are happy with Van Damme was the worst, maybe next to Steven Seagal.
they're
The
both
thing
at
that made
bottom.
Van Damme worse than Seagal, I think, was the fact that he had that accent, so it sounded even more robotic.
I think it's very hard for me because I really love Van Damme.
No, so do I.
Yeah,
Like I call him Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
But yeah, terrible actor.
Terrible.
you can't get away with that now,
But-
can you?
I don't think he's using a stuntman to kick.
No, he's definitely not.
Is Keanu Reeves the modern day example?
Yes,
Where he's
but
just
he's also
so charismatic,
crossing
and charming.
over. Yeah, yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
That-
but he's crossing periods, right? He's a '90s guy as well.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Well, early 90s. He
Yeah.
basically came up with Point Break and
Point Break.
Speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you're right. He's the one who's
He's probably the
still
modern
managed-
day. Yeah. Whereas all our other action stars these
Jason
days,
Statham.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, not a bad
I reckon
call.
he can
act
act
a bit.
You
Yeah.
see him in one of the Guy Ritchie films. He can act.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of range,
I think.
but he's
I used to
good at
think
what he does.
Keanu couldn't act. I think he can act now.
Like yeah, but he's definitely got this kind of like roboticness to him. Like if Keanu's always Keanu.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's just like he's got some bit more range. Yeah, I'm definitely saying Keanu's better than Van Damme. No doubt about that. but he's probably our modern day
Yeah,
version
Like a
of it.
robotic dude that's always.
yeah, it's found their lane and they're just going to stay. And that's why I respect the way these guys have gone about it and what Keanu's done as well. Like he's not trying any English accents anymore.
No.
He's just going to fucking be really good at
He's just
using
going to be
guns.
fucking wicked.
Yeah.
In everything.
Yeah. So like I think that that's what makes a movie like this work. I've got my main reason why this works is the director.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
Fuck a career he went on to. Who would have thought the guy that directed Universal Soldier
Yeah.
would go
Well,
bang and do one of the most revolutionary movies
I
of
feel
all
like
time.
you could see it though.
Yes.
Like if you compare this to other movies at the time, this has got some fucking like class to it.
Yes.
Like the way those
100%.
action scenes are done.
Yep.
The explosions, like with the truck and all that sort of stuff. I was like, fuck, this is really well
Yeah.
put
And
together, man.
you guys, I love a good shooting.
Yeah,
so if a
100%.
shooting is good,
Yeah.
I'm all
there's-
about it.
there's
And
quite a
it's
few good
plenty of
shooting.
shooting.
Yeah.
He had the right amount of helicopter work. I thought
Yeah.
there's scenes. There's some pretty artistic action sequences. The bus chase,
Yes.
was the Grand Canyon. Wasn't
love
it?
that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I
the
loved
wide shots from the helicopter. I was like, whoever thought to put this on this little fucking skinny little bit sticking out of it.
I thought
So
that
that
was
sort
really
of stuff. So that's what elevated it,
Mm.
and the fact that they had like a sure hand like that directing it, who I'm sure was also like, hey, Jean-Claude Dolph, like, you're not going to have a heap of range to work with,
Yeah.
but we're going to make you look fucking awesome, and you're going to have like we're going to maximize your strengths here and hide your weaknesses.
Yeah, I think the director was very firm, and it was like we've done a lot of movies where it's like do whatever you do normally.
Yeah.
I think this director was like bang, bang, bang.
I'd
Next
thought
scene,
so,
next
yeah.
scene, next scene.
Yeah. I'm just going to make a sick action movie.
Yeah, what I love about this movie, it's got 2 endings. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love a movie that has 2 endings.
Right. I've
What do you mean by that?
Bus chase. Dolph Lundgren's in the bus dead.
Oh, he died. Sorry.
but he's not dead.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
see
you
what
mean-
you mean.
oh, the
Sorry, I
fake
thought you
out.
meant an alternate ending.
Yeah,
no,
same. Yeah.
2 endings.
Yeah.
There's 2 endings. I love it.
Yeah, but you always
Movie's
know.
over.
Oh,
This is going to be
yeah,
the finish,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
he turns up again.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
No,
She's like, I'm taking you. Buckle up. I'm taking you home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
I think when he goes off the edge of the cliff, I think we're at about 85 minutes there.
Yeah.
Which is about the length of
That's
an
a-
early 90s, late 80s action movie.
Yeah.
So it could have easily been the end.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think
they
it's
go,
good.
no, you know what? There's 20 minutes at the end. Let's do a boss fight.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Let's do a boss fight in a barnyard.
They can't go out. smashing buses together.
Yeah.
They go,
There's got to be some
smashing each other.
sidekicks.
Yeah.
There's got to be some.
There had not been enough kickboxing from JVCD and JC Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude.
Yeah,
Jean-Claude.
let's just keep it at Jean-Claude.
Yeah, too many syllables. I loved the start.
Yep.
We got our title card.
Yep.
Nice simple one.
Yeah.
Vietnam 1969.
Great.
And we were off.
Yeah.
Right? No fucking around. We're into it. The first thing I thought was, that's how you do a Nam scene.
Yeah.
It was all like shrubbery, like dense shrubbery and rain and tight shots.
And random fires and corpses.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could have been shot in Roland Emmerich's backyard.
It was definitely a studio.
But
No
I've got a
about
fun fact about that later. I think
really?
somewhere. I can't
I
remember
hope
what it is now.
because I just said it definitely.
Yeah. I don't think it is.
Fuck.
But I was comparing that to Dead Presidents, which is the last movie we did with the Nam scene in it, and how that sort of threw me because it felt sparse, and they were trying to go for like scope, and it was open.
I was
remember?
waiting for cock and balls in someone's mouth.
So I think like that straight away, that sort of showed like how they were using the resources better as well.
Yeah.
Now I don't know which one is more accurate to what was going on in the Nam War, but I know which one made it feel more like the Nam War to me, or what I believe the Nam War should have been for them.
Well, this had a little bit of Nam knowledge, like a village has been cleared. Why you're here?
Yes.
These people are all fine.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
They're not traders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It felt all muggy and fucking wet. And
Just a lot of
Claustrophobic.
There's a lot of mud in this movie, and Jean-Claude Van Damme's feet or hands in it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I noticed.
I like the Nam bit, how we got there's never been in the first 5 minutes of a film a more clear introduction of good versus evil.
Yes.
Like, it was just fucking... And then to the point where good and evil cancel each other out, literally and metaphorically.
Dude.
So they shoot each other at the exact same time, and it's like cancelling out each other.
That shooting
Extreme
each other.
good, extreme bad.
So
Great.
I love a slow motion fall down.
Yeah. That was
Some
very
nice blind
90s.
packets. So,
That was a very 90s action. But I was thinking about how they killed each other. Like, it was like two superpowers.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is like the mutually assured destruction of the Cold War, except instead of Russia and the US, it's not countries, it's people, and it's Belgium and Sweden. And it's actually not like it at all now that I say it out loud.
No, but I get what you mean.
I was like, this is like the immovable force. What is it? The force of the immovable object, or whatever. And like, fucking, there's no way for them to die except for killing each other.
They would have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both elite.
I was like, that's fucking pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's completely implausible.
Yeah.
But also, who gives a shit?
Well, you say it's completely implausible, but I remember a UFC fight like a decade ago where they knocked each other out at the exact same time.
So
and
one
I
out of-
actually flash back to that.
One out of a million then?
Yeah, probably one out of
That's
a million.
a much
but-
better analogy than my Cold War.
Sorry. Sorry to come over the top of you with that. Very good. So that was cool. Yeah, go on.
From there, this is the first indication that we were dealing with, apart from the realistic, quote-unquote realistic Nam thing, the first indication we were dealing with, in my opinion, again, the director that was going to take this to a slightly better level was the introduction when they did the titles of the actors. Where they zip up the body bag. Zip up the body bag.
Put him in
Jean-Claude
ice.
Van Damme. Yeah. And then they show Dolph Lundgren. Zip up the body bag. Dolph Lundgren. I was like, yes!
Yeah,
that's
cool.
fucking cool. That's the best character intro since Young Guns.
Loved it.
Love it. Put it in me. I also loved the Damme scene. That was pretty good.
The old Hoover Dam.
Yeah, I felt like most of the soldiers were pretty useless apart from Dolph and Jean-Claude. Tiny Lister was one of the soldiers, and Baracus from Gladiator.
From Gladiator, yeah, I noticed him.
crazy.
Yeah. I never remembered he was in this.
Tiny Lester doesn't even get a scene like Zeus.
Yeah, very
I
few.
forgot Debo from Friday was in this.
Debo was
That's
in
who
it as well.
Zeus is.
I was like, you got knocked the fuck
That's
out.
Tiny Lister.
That's
Oh,
Tiny
is
Lister.
that- is that his real name?
That's his real name.
Right, yeah, because he's in the Fifth Element as well.
He didn't get one line.
No.
One line at all.
No.
It sucked. Just
poor
thought
guy.
I'd say that.
Ralph Moeller is the name of Baracus, is it? From
Yeah.
Gladiator? Yeah, that's his. I looked him up
Right.
because I was like, fuck, that's the guy.
Baracus.
He tastes the poison
Yeah.
before Maximus, or the food, to check whether it's got poison in it.
So good.
Yeah, it's
Let's watch
Maximus is
Gladiator.
right. Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah.
All right, pause the pod. So one of the things that I thought was cool as shit that was recurring throughout the whole movie was the truck.
Yes.
And I was just like, as soon as I saw that truck, I was like, cool. Can I go around Australia in that?
Yeah.
I was waiting.
family and just do a road trip.
And they have to sleep in those chairs.
Sleep in the cryo chamber.
I was waiting for it to turn into a fucking transformer.
Yeah.
That's how cool
Yeah.
it was.
That's a cool truck.
Fuck, it's cool.
They must
one-
have built that truck, right?
Oh,
For the
they
movie.
100%
Well, they
built that.
just put a shell on a bus or whatever, but they still built it like it's practical.
Yeah, it's a horse fan. I reckon, probably.
And it looks fucking wicked.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, did you say a horse van? Oh, sorry, a horse.
A horse fan. I think that all of the tech, one of the reasons it's held up pretty well is they didn't seem to overstretch themselves. They weren't trying to make it too futuristic in 92.
You know why it holds up? There's no IBM computers where they're typing away.
True.
That's what makes it hold up. Because
Yeah.
as soon as you, it was pretty hard with the TVs. That kind of took me out of it. But if you put a computer on IBM, it's like green writing on this fucking tiny computer. It takes me away from the movie.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was young once. How did I go? Not well.
What, we
No.
didn't use computers? I was like, this is
we were
shit.
outside.
Outside.
No participation certificates
Jumping
for
off
us.
walls, getting scraps on my knees.
That's right, touching grass. But even the weaponry, which I've got some fun facts about later as well, was one of the reasons it's held up pretty well. And like you said before, the simple concept, like fucking awesome concept, zombie super soldiers.
Yeah, great.
Wicked idea. Wicked elevator pitch.
Yep.
You just go, I got two beefcakes, they killed each other, we're bringing them back, they're going to do it again.
Yes.
I'm in.
Perfect.
One's
Right.
going to have an unlimited supply of grenades.
Yeah.
He loves a grenade throw.
Just fucking non
Such a good grenade. He's got a wicked arm on him, Dolph Lundgren, in this movie.
Oh,
Hits that grenade right on him a couple of times, doesn't he?
It's plausible. Yeah. But then what they did, like with such a simple concept, is they didn't overstretch themselves with the plot, like to overcomplicate things. They colour it in just enough that you get an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
And like the opening scene, like you said, tells you everything you know about the characters.
Yeah.
You're right in there, you know who you're barracking for and whatnot. But like they didn't seem to need to want to overcomplicate things too much.
No.
It's just enough to drive the story along for 90 minutes.
And it moves along
it
wonderfully.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, because
The only thing-
Sorry, you go.
The only thing I found weird was Dolph Lundgren still in Vietnam War. But then to help that move along, they went to the doctor and he said, when you're in death, you are what you were then. So he's always going to be in war, and he's always wanted to go.
That Law and Order dude.
Yeah.
He sorted that shit out for him.
Yeah. He was good. That's what he's from, Law and Order.
Right.
Dirty Dancing.
Never seen
Never
it.
seen it.
Patrick Swayze.
Don't need to see it.
You've never seen Dirty Dancing?
No,
Don't
me
need to see
neither.
it.
No.
Fuck, come on, man.
It's not for me.
Nah. I'm not the target demo.
Yeah.
I don't want to have the time of my life. I'm saving the time of my
Oh,
life.
you guys don't have sisters.
Can we... True.
Just realised.
At some point, I don't know whether we do it when we're doing cast, but I just want to briefly bring up Ali Walker.
Yeah.
She was
I thought
fantastic.
she was fucking awesome.
She's
I actually
good.
thought she was in terms of the acting or the talent, she was easily the best.
Oh, she had to be. They nailed the casting.
Oh, yeah.
And not just the two leads, but I thought she was great.
She
And
was
she
great.
had to carry all the emotional weight of this movie for the most part.
She moved on from the headshot kill to her cameraman pretty quickly.
She was pretty callous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she moved on pretty quickly.
You know
Also-
why? Because the cigarettes. They
Yeah.
help people.
That
true.
never heard of it. Never heard anyone. Also, he was a bit of a douche.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't great. What was his name? He was a terrible getaway driver.
I can't remember.
Tony.
He just fucking panicked and ran into that big pile of drums or whatever it was almost immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, you had
Ali Walker was unreal.
Yes.
The whole film.
Yep.
Like, not over the top. She managed what was probably a pretty difficult task, being like opposite a fucking robot.
Yeah.
Like literally and fucking, yeah. So I just thought she was great, man. I actually, for some reason, I had it in my head, and bearing in mind, I probably haven't watched this for 20 years, but watched it 10 times when I was a kid, probably 20. But I remembered her being annoying for some reason.
Yeah.
But when I watched this again, I was like, she's not annoying at all.
no,
she's very cool.
Yeah, she's chill.
I remember thinking that as well. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to not hear this girl scream. But she doesn't scream at all.
No, she's fine.
No.
This is fine.
No,
she gets a bit hectic at the end, but that's fine. She had a grenade on.
She's very Sarah Connor from Terminator. She's slightly vulnerable at first,
Yep.
but then she like just moves into that.
Knocks
this
the
is
cop out.
This is my life right now,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to fucking roll with this. And
Yeah,
I've got
zombie
this-
super soldiers.
I've
right,
got
eh?
a zombie super soldier next to me. That's
Probably a
gonna-
good story.
He seems to be interested in protecting me if I
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
but I'm going to handle my own shit.
He
as
looks
well.
fantastic when he's glistening naked in the bathroom.
so funny.
Just like, let me just cast my eyes slowly up and down the glistening body of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He really didn't want to do full frontal nudity.
No,
did
they're
he?
like, he was
Yeah, they blocked
but
that,
he was.
yeah.
Yeah, they're like, all right,
Just give us your dick. Again.
just a little look.
Just one slump.
You want to know that, don't you?
I mean, I've seen those clenched butt cheeks.
Many times.
Yes, He's not afraid to get his butt out, is he?
So she was great. I've got another.
Just show us your French noodle, Jean-Claude.
A personal highlight of the film. Maybe I've got two great ones. They both involve Dolph Lundgren because, as I said, I just thought he was a terrific villain.
Yeah, what you got?
So one, and I actually wrote here, that's cinema. To me, that's cinema. when Dolph Lundgren is asleep in the chair after he's taken over the bus.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I got to go cool down.
Yeah.
And he doesn't trust these fuckers. He knows they're up to something.
Yeah.
So he goes and sits down in the chair, and then the guy reaches over and he's going to like inject him with something or like fuck with his little dials or whatever. And he reaches over and Dolph Lundgren grabs his arm and then just shoots him this look. This his face kind of lifts up and just slowly looks him in the eye. And I was like, as I was watching, I was going, that's cinema. It was so good. It was so good though. Yeah. That look, man. I was like, that's a fucking villain, man. And then my other favorite bit. This is actually my favorite bit of the movie because it makes me laugh. Is when he rocks up at I think it's literally called the Titty Bar. I think it was, or something like that. Yeah, and he
got
rocks
a necklace
up
full of noses.
Yeah, and and those three guys are standing there, and then he just rocks back on one foot, and he goes bang, kicks one in the head, pivots slightly but doesn't put his foot down, kicks the next one, pivots slightly, kicks the next one, 3 down.
So good,
Yeah.
and then he's
amazing.
Yes.
and then the bus blows up with another grenade.
Yes.
And he's holding that guy upside down and goes, I'll take your belt. I like this belt.
Yeah.
And the fact that goes, I can draw you a map. Do you have a pencil? And draw? Dolph's like, yeah. Just fucking, and then he goes, I like this belt. I'll take it.
That was good. I just love that fucking triple kick.
I'm looking for a deserter. He's traveling with a female POW.
Beat an asshole. Nice necklace. I got one just like it made out of noses.
Now they're in this white and yellow Buick with no front or rear window. Does that refresh your memory?
Oh,
So
same.
without grounding his kicking foot.
Yeah. One take.
I really love the supermarket scene. He's just chewing up the scenery.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so good.
That's
I've
where he
got
really
some
goes
questions
off.
about the
Yeah.
supermarket scene because
Go
it
on.
is great. Why didn't the people clear out? You've just had a fucking 7-foot super soldier drag what looked like 2 corpses into the freezer.
Yeah, but
and
they were
people are still
gathering
shopping.
around. Yeah. I think they were frozen in shock, I think, because that's the impression they gave you. But, like, you get the fuck out.
At least one person had bolt.
Yeah.
Also, it's
but
America.
more people gathered.
It's
Yeah.
America, so they're all like, oh,
Yeah.
Sunday.
And then there's
True.
yeah, and then there's that one unisol eating a steak.
Oh, the raw steak.
He's just
Yeah.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
Staring at the
I think
background
that's
without a shirt
Baracus.
on.
Yeah. He's
Baracus.
testing it for poison.
Yeah.
Like a gladiator.
But they didn't even know they could eat.
No.
So why? he just-
Jean-Claude found out he could
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah, didn't he?
That fucking scene is so fucking
But if they hadn't
weird.
given him a fucking piece of raw rump, he might not. He might have thought this food thing's overrated.
Yeah.
But old mate, he was like, "This is dope. Like, I just can't get enough of this."
You know
steak."
what I really hated? The waitress.
Oh, shit.
She was so rude. She just shoves
Yeah.
it, like the first meal of the day.
Yeah.
She shoves it.
She had a feeling he wasn't going to have the money to pay for it.
she knew a
She's
piece of
seen a
shit
few
with it,
super
yeah.
soldiers.
Well, she knows
in
who
it.
Joe is, and that's not his. That's not Joe. He's just wearing that Joe shirt until he meets his parents.
I think I spent too long at that point trying to work out the digestive system of the super soldiers.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and I was like, wait.
Yeah.
So he's never eaten before, so therefore he doesn't require food.
Yeah.
And they're obviously just fueling him with some sort of serum or whatever.
Yeah.
So does that mean that their bodily functions are going to work as per usual? Like if he consumes 4 or 5 kilograms of food, like what's going to happen here?
Are they driving down the road a little bit
does
later
he-
and she has to explain shit to him now?
Yeah. Or does he just not shit? Like, I don't know. He
doesn't
just
not-
go into an empty hole. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you just like think the whole body's hollow and it just lands there and it just sits there.
Yeah.
I don't know. They never got into the actual how the super. I would have loved 3 or 4 minutes of one of the nerdy scientists on the bus explaining, so this is what we give them this serum if they could eat food, but this is more potent, whatever.
As long as they don't eat cheese.
Okay, there we go, right? So Terminator 2, I don't want to make any comparisons here, but Terminator 2, there's this scene where Arnie cuts his arm and explains the skeleton. He says, the skeleton covered by living tissue or whatever it is. Peels back. Yeah. But he explains it all, and you're like, great, I understand exactly what this robot is. Yeah. They don't do that in this next.
So you want to find out if the Universal Super Soldier shit.
Well, I just want to know how robot, cyborg, or whatever they are.
I don't think they're robot, are they?
No,
I don't know.
They're not meant to be.
They're just pure human flesh, and they function like a human. Yeah. Just their brains are kind of dead.
They're kind of zombies, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I would have loved that to be explained properly.
Yeah. I didn't. I unfortunately did.
Shit.
I went down that wormhole. I was sitting there thinking, "Hang on, what's going to happen here?"
Yeah.
I actually thought of that as well, and just went, I can't think about it.
I was like, "This is how he finds out he's gluten intolerant."
Yeah. I was going to say for a minute, did you think it was going to turn all along came Polly, and we just get a toilet scene? Like a toilet joke scene?
Yeah. No, I'm glad they didn't do that. Yeah, but also this is
I'm pooing.
It's not the kind of movie where
Do you reckon Jean-Claude shits with his two legs spread out, and you know how he always sits on two chairs and he just dumps in a fucking bucket.
When you think about it, it's probably the most efficient way to do it. There'd be a lot less, lot less maintenance.
Oh, the air cleans it.
There was so many kicks in this movie from Van Damme that I'm surprised we didn't see the splits.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
I think the splits became his thing only like more.
Maybe
recently,
it was after
right?
this, was it?
I think so.
Like around
the Volvo
The Quest.
Double Impact or Sudden Death.
Quest.
So it would have been
Quest.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, Bloodsport,
which was
Quest.
before this, I think.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
Bloodsport's before this.
Yeah, I've got when we get to him, I've got his run.
Great.
It's a great run.
Yeah, I've omitted a few.
Has anyone got any dislikes? Because we did a lot of likes there.
Just the waitress.
I had a couple.
Just my only thing was I felt that there was some stuff missing towards the end. Like it was really, really well executed film until the last act, where there was just the most minor.
Are you talking last act is in the barn?
Yeah,
like
even
in the
before that,
house?
there was just a couple of things that I felt like they were a little bit oddly put together, and I was like, "Oh, we've made a couple of jumps here now."
Yeah,
it's a bit draggy.
A couple of re-edits, maybe.
Yeah,
you reckon?
Nothing serious because again, they didn't worry too much. This was not exactly the Onion plot that we talk about sometimes.
No.
This was pretty basic. So if there was a couple of leaps of logic to be made, along the lines of him eating the whole menu or whatever, I wasn't bothered by it.
No,
because that was honestly, I think that was probably the only thing, I can come up with.
This was a personal tasting for me, and I think you'll agree here, BJ, is the final fight scene that it just went on a little long. As much as I enjoyed watching Lundgren and Van Damme fight each other, and I know that was just a thing in fucking 92. That's what happened in action movies. There was a long fight scene at the end, but a little long. I could have knocked a few minutes off that, a few less back and forth.
I'd add a bit more.
Which is why I try not to.
How many times do you need to see him get fucking thrown around?
My problem is I don't. I won't.
He's done well.
There was one kick where Van Damme kicked Lundgren in the knee and he went flying into the wall, and it's like, no, that doesn't do that.
Yeah. There's a couple of bits like that.
But you know what?
The physics went out the window at the end there. Yeah.
I did find it a little bit long, but I try not to be too harsh on that because I know that's my personal opinion. My issue with it, for the most part, the reason I find them too long is because you know the result already going into it. So that's why I find it like you've got to come up with new, interesting ways to arrive at the same fucking result. So that's why I'm pretty harsh on them. But I didn't. So I found it a little bit long, but it didn't detract from the movie overall.
And what when looking at the critic stuff, like they all talk about the bits of other movies. The only movie I could think of, like there definitely was some comparisons with Terminator, as in some sort of future soldier or whatever.
I think it's just
and then he's kind of protecting this person that's an innocent civilian.
So there's broad tropes that are carried over, but not specific
Not
points.
specific, but that, and then the kind of road trip side of it.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, because Terminator 2 was 92 as well.
I think so, yeah.
So which one was first, this or Terminator 2?
Oh, shit. Even the fact they were released in the same year indicates they're not cribbing from each other.
True.
Because they'd be in production at the same time.
Yeah,
so
true. So maybe it was loose. Maybe it's just like they both had a similar idea with
it's not that hard to come up with this concept.
It's basically like a road trip movie in a way,
Yeah.
which Terminator 2 is in a way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just action sci-fi. It's at its peak.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's not. This is not like a case of two very. Like I wouldn't have thought this is a deep impact fucking Armageddon situation.
No.
There's enough separation.
And I'm certainly not accusing one or the other of taking ideas. I'm just going, I can see some similarities, but for the critics all to basically be saying the same thing, I was like, fuck, I can't really think what else this is like.
I didn't find it specifically derivative. Like, there's a framework for this shit, right?
That's exactly
if it's
what
going to
we've
have a
spoken
beginning,
about
middle,
before.
and an end, it's going to have a certain
Yes.
framework.
Yes.
And it's just...
Den of Thieves is like The Town and Heat. Yes, because they're
Yes.
fucking heist movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad guy, good
this-
guy. There's only so many ways it can go.
This is a sci-fi action movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Terminator.
Just make it fun.
It's pretty weird if he just goes on the run by himself as well. You need someone.
Yeah,
to
and
prove
instead of going to be a
he's
kid or a
good
woman
guy
or a fucking mismatched dude.
or a dog. Dog would be fun.
Look, it doesn't matter what it is, right?
Yeah.
A zebra.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fuck it.
What
Alligator wouldn't work.
What
You're
about
hard to get.
alligator? I reckon that'd be like sweet.
Albino jaguar.
Albino jaguar.
Like a buddy comedy.
A sassy albino jaguar. Yeah.
I think Nick Cage has already done that.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of other, not a bunch, but a couple of other just super random shit that I want to
Go
point
on.
out. So one of the things, another point where I was like, this is actually just slightly better than I remember it being, and that its reputation critically probably says, and that's like, it's a big trope. She gets on the bus, but does she know?
No.
And the bus drives away to
love
reveal
it.
her.
Yeah,
and
love
for a
it.
second you're like, and then another bus behind her drives away to reveal like a fucking 1,000.
That was
Yeah,
fucking
that was
awesome.
good.
That's
I thought that was sick.
I thought that was really good, and it was
Very
well
clever.
done. It was
Yeah.
timed perfectly. It was carried off really well.
Yeah.
In fact, the timing in the whole movie was really good. The pace was really, really
Yeah,
good.
it was one of the rare, and I'm glad rare, kind of bits of humor as well. I thought
Yes.
it was funny. The fact that they drove away
Yeah,
and the
one of
cops
my
were-
only other issues was the humor did all start to get shoehorned in a little bit at the end, where he became wisecracky a little bit towards the end.
slightly. Yeah,
Yeah. That was a bit odd.
yeah.
But also kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I didn't give a shit. Like, whether you could rationalize it yourself by saying, okay, he's becoming more of himself again anyway. So he's dropping the facade he's becoming a human, I
Yeah.
guess.
Dolph Lundgren dropped it really quickly.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Immediately, I give the orders now.
Something less than it. He became something less than human pretty quickly.
That's so good.
Yeah. I did find it funny when they were, I think it was the boss fight, and he thinks she's been blown up,
Yeah.
and he gains super strength.
Oh,
when he
yeah.
injects himself.
Before that, when he's just angry.
Oh, and he just charges
And
at
he
him.
charges- I was like, love is the real serum.
Yeah, and
And then he has the real serum. Yeah. And then he actually has the serum. As I said before, the bus chase was fun. The only thing that I thought was pretty funny, and I did enjoy it though, there was a stunt where the two buses were collided.
Yeah.
And he had to scurry across the bonnet of the one that before it went over the cliff, and he sort of daintily went
like little tiptoe, like Billy Elliot, fucking running across.
Well, later
it.
on, I found out that he was a trained ballet dancer.
He was,
yeah.
and I was
big
like,
time.
boom, there you go. The only thing he should have done is the splits in between the two buses.
That would have been cool while they were going.
Yeah,
Surprised
there's
he
an
didn't do
idea for
that.
Volvo.
Actually, as you said, it might be pre-split.
Yeah.
Also liked when Brackus meets his end. Dolph Lundgren tries to wake him up.
Oh yeah,
He's got like 2 bullets in his head.
that was sad.
That was optimistic.
Yeah, it was sad.
It was sad.
Poison didn't get him in the end. Bullets.
Bullets got him.
So some of the only time that I thought any of the attempted humor was sort of cringy was when she had to search his body for the tracker.
Oh
And
yeah.
she's like, "What am I looking for?" And he goes, "Something hard."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I could have done without that."
Yeah.
Like,
they just throw a
for
bit
the
of,
I'm like, "Calm down,
It's for
Harvey
the
Weinstein."
kids.
they throw a bit of sex into these '90s movies, don't they?
Yeah, she Don Burked him. He Don Burked her. But,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was like, holy shit, she just Louis'd him. Other way around, he Louis'd her. But the actual biggest laugh I got, and it was super subtle, was the two scientists. And I can't remember the circumstance, but I think they were in trouble for something.
Yeah.
And the white scientist says to the black scientist, he goes, "Where'd he go, Garth?"
Garth's like, "Fuck you."
Garth just flips him
in
off.
the bird.
Garth
He
was my
lost the
favourite.
tracking.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he goes, "Where'd you go, Garth?"
How good that his name was Garth.
I loved
as well.
it. It was
Yeah, yeah,
perfect. It was fucking perfectly carried off. Garth was my favourite.
Yeah, he was
he was
good,
the only
yeah.
one I mourned when he passed. And I also, the other thing I thought was funny was the slack-jawed yokel at the gas station who just kept going, "Huh?"
Yeah, that's right.
Joe.
Park your car.
Huh?
Park your car?
He didn't say. He fucking didn't
And
say
then he
it
just
for a while.
climbs back into the boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fuck this.
And just some questions that are raised for me. Is everyone who's ever worked at the reception of a dodgy motel a degenerate weirdo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be.
You got to be able to keep secrets
Yeah.
and be into weird shit.
Have like a greasy comb over fucking.
Yeah.
There's
haircut.
always
And a cat.
whenever
pot belly, button-up shirt undone to the belly. Yeah,
and his mum has to be there.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, mum's always there.
Or a cousin or some shit like that.
That's true. Yeah,
I love in motel scene. There's always people having sex in the next room when
Yes.
the door
Yeah.
breaks
Yeah.
down. It's like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then to hide under the blanket.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to
that's
stop.
good.
They thought it was hot.
I
They were
thought
into
that was awesome.
They were into that. Also, with the hotel scene, has anyone who's lighting up a hotel room with machine guns?
You don't shoot down.
Has anyone ever shot below window level?
You don't. Why would you?
Yeah, so the best way to escape firefight is just to lie on the floor.
Well, they do that twice in the movie.
They do.
just lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
bus as well. You're just dragging
It's
it
okay.
down.
Just go down.
The unisols were almost perfect, except they couldn't point down on that angle, that exact angle. And Jean-Claude knew that. Like, if only we could shoot down.
They could never figure that out. Something wrong with their shoulders after they bring them back. Yeah.
And my last question: if the original ear necklace was available on eBay for a reasonable price,
Yeah, I'd have a look.
yeah, you have a go.
I'd
Oh,
pay.
fuck
I'd
it
pay.
off.
I'd
Yeah.
pay $3,000.
Would you wear it?
I'd pay
Just
3.
rock into work with it one day.
I would.
I'd
Let's say
wear
it's
it.
lacquered, so there's not an odor. Like they've lacquered it, it's
Yeah,
preserved
yeah,
well.
yeah.
I'd wear it to
I'd
work.
want it to kind of jangle. I'd have some beads on it, so it jangles when you walk.
Make a wind chime out of it.
I'm all ears. So
Scare
good.
away the neighborhood kids. Hang it out the front. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Oh, other than the it had the so 80s 90s trope of the one at a time attackers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good.
Like, yeah. Then it was about 1998, I think, that the bad guys decided to get together and say, "Hey guys, one of them had an idea.
Why don't we all do this?
Yeah.
At least two at once." Yeah.
Oh, they think they tried on Steven Seagal in his earlier career, and then that's when they learnt they can't do it. It doesn't matter how many go at once. Steven Seagal's just going to fly
Yeah.
them around.
Okay,
like
fair.
in fucking Mark for Death or Out for Justice or one of those ones. He just fucking flings them. It's like 8 of them going at once.
And if you fight for too long, he's going to break your arm.
He will. He'll twist your hand until your wrist snaps.
There was good breaking of arms in this. I like Longdren's breaking was pretty good.
That was some
that
limbs
was good.
getting
When
snapped,
he's
wasn't it?
pinned down.
Yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
What do you got? Cast and crew?
I got facts galore.
Let's do it.
Let's do cast and crew. So director is Roland Emmerich. Is it Emmerich or Emmerich? Can I get a ruling?
Emmerich.
Oh, Emmerich.
I'll just
I don't know.
alternate
Doesn't
between
matter.
the two.
Just call him Roland.
Yep.
I'm sure someone
Ronnie.
will message us.
Well,
going,
he's like German or something, isn't he? Where's he from?
I think he's from the good old American
So it's
state of
probably
USA.
No, he's not.
Oh,
He's not.
no.
This was his
He's
first
definitely
American
European,
feature film.
yeah.
Yeah, he's from the continent of Europe. Somewhere.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Or the UK.
Yes.
He has a Metacritic score of 47 from 27 movies.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah, he really is.
That's actually probably better than what I thought for him.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just bang out some of his good ones later. But his best
Fucking
movie
hits.
is
He's got hits.
Igby Goes Down from 2002, scored 72. I've never heard of it. It's Kieran Culkin, Susan Sarandon, Jeff Goldblum, and
I've
Claire
heard of
Danes.
it.
I've heard of this.
German film director.
German, is he?
Roland
Yeah.
Emmerich.
Yeah.
So his best movie isn't Independence Day.
Germany finally contributed something good to society.
Wow.
Not now.
Not anymore. And his lowest is a movie called Stonewall from 2015. I think of him as the big blockbuster fucking special effects guy because, as we said,
So wait, sorry, did you say this is his first American
film.
Wow, pretty good.
And that's why I think
Did a cult classic. his
Yeah,
first
man.
hit.
Yeah.
They-
and made some money.
Oh, yeah, made some money.
the producers of this movie caught lightning in a bottle. I don't know if they knew what they had,
Yeah.
but this is what you want. This is the best case scenario of
for
making
sure.
this film, right?
23 million to nearly quadruple it.
Yep. Because of Ronald
Did we
Emmerich.
go back and watch a Roland Emmerich German movie before? Because he's obviously in the wheel. He's doing action, right?
You guys.
Even in the German
But that's what I was going to say.
I wonder if he's got something from like just the year before that's just wicked that we've never seen because it's German.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good
Ex-Marine.
German cinema was in the early 90s.
You guys do that and I'll watch Independence Day.
I'm just curious. Like, if he's this good
Yeah.
straight away, he obviously had the talent.
Yeah.
So he's probably got some other shit we haven't seen.
Yeah, this is not, whilst it's not a huge blockbuster, this is not a small movie to make your debut with either.
God, no.
These two guys,
Yeah, they were definitely on the up, if not already there.
we knew their names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Van Damme had already done Bloodsport and Kickboxer at this point.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't fucking around. Like,
No.
Van Damme was a star.
He was fucking around.
And you want this blonde guy from Rocky 4. Like,
Sorry, not to
Impact.
So he's rolled off Independence Day, The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, White House Down, The Patriot, Stargate, Godzilla, the Matthew Broderick Rage Against the Machine one, and Moonfall.
Yeah, so
Moonfall
we've spoken
is-
about him when we did Day After Tomorrow,
Yeah.
and we are saying his best is fucking unbelievable.
Yep.
But then he just sometimes he's just like, this is actually dreadful.
Moonfall
As in
is,
or that sort of shit.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
He seems to smash out a big budget blockbuster, which looks amazing
Yeah.
and may or may not be a little bit hollow,
Yeah.
and then goes and does some stuff, like a couple for him,
Yeah.
that some seem to be critical misses,
Yeah.
and then comes back and smashes out another one.
But I think, and we might have said this before, so whatever. But how does the same guy make Independence Day and The Day After Tomorrow also make fucking Moonfall in 2012? Did you say 2012 as
Yeah,
well?
did 2012, yeah.
So they're just entirely different spectrums of like quality of film.
Yeah.
Day After Tomorrow, the like it or not, the quality of it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like the filmmaking.
I thought
And
Moonfall, the quality was pretty good, but it's just a
Yeah.
shit. I
Is
think
it a
it's
well-made
shit
bad
what about
movie?
2012 though? It just
It's
looks
a
like
sh-
it looks like shit.
I like 2012.
Do you?
Yeah.
I just thought, but the visuals and stuff
indifferent.
look like shit.
I don't
Really?
think they do.
Okay, all right, maybe I'm just.
I
wrong.
can only remember the
Oh,
limo.
I'm happy to be wrong.
Just
man.
remember a limo and the highway cracking up.
Yeah, I just in my head it looked like shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to read.
You're the CGI guy, so I defer to
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, from now on, it'll look like
Thank
shit to
you.
me too. Thanks.
Two facts.
So that's our boy Roland. You got any other Roland thoughts?
No, just that he
Like him.
I'll always give him a chance
Because we're
he's
going deep on the two stars. Let me tell you.
Roland's done enough good for me to go. Roland's doing this. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
He hasn't hurt me too badly yet that I would go.
Is Roland doing another disaster movie?
Why not?
No.
Can't be worse than Moonfall. I'll watch it.
Yeah, might be,
It won't be.
but I'll still watch it.
It won't be.
So
disappointed.
top build on this movie is a Jean-Claude Van Damme, who played Luke. You might have heard of him. He's got a Metacritic score of 44 from 38 movies, which is
Not bad.
That's pretty good for Van Damme.
Pretty good when all he's doing is action.
His highest Metacritic is Universal Soldier Regeneration from 2009, which has 70.
Yeah, it's fucking weird that those ones. I noticed that when I was looking this up for the critic reviews.
Yeah.
all the ones after are above 50.
You're
Not
kidding.
the
I'm
first
glad
one, but
you
the first
mentioned
one's
this.
definitely the best.
I
kidding.
have a critic review of this movie from the AV Club for you, which makes me want to watch this fucking movie.
Oh, have you not seen them? The other ones?
No.
they're-
I've never watched any of this.
I remember the-
okay, so
There's two where Dolph Lundgren and Joel Claude came back. Yeah, there's two of them.
Yeah, but they were like later on.
One
right?
of them's dog shit.
Yeah.
I think the most recent one's dog shit.
Well,
Regeneration, I don't remember at all.
Okay, so there's what? No,
I
that's
do
the
remember the Bill Goldberg one.
Regeneration is the one where they came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was one.
2009.
Yeah, there was one that had Goldberg in it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that one wasn't good.
Is he
No,
the guy
that
with
was-
the
that
really
was
weird
part two.
voice? Oh no, that's
The rest of Bill
That's-
Goldberg.
Wasn't Bobcat
yeah.
Goldthwait.
Wasn't
my bad.
the Bill Goldberg one part 3? Universal Soldier 2 was 2.
Michael
Yes.
J.
So I think Regeneration is the one with the UFC fighter Andrei Arlovsky, and I'm pretty sure that one is fucking wicked.
Yeah.
I just got to see if Andrei. Yes, it is that one.
Yeah.
So the one with Andrei Arlovsky, it's actually got a bunch of UFC dudes in it.
Yes.
Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And it's good, man.
So-
It is actually good.
We shit on the AV Club for hating everything. They said about this movie, Universal Soldier Regeneration, they said it might in fact be the best straight-to-DVD action movie ever made, and the fact that there's any competition for that title should tell you that times have changed. 91.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah, I'm definitely watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the good one, like the other
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
And I think the rest.
It sounds like
take
the
it or
others.
leave it.
Yeah. So his lowest score is for Blackwater from 2018 that got 16.
And you know what? That's also got Dolph
also
Lundgren in
stars
it.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
They have done 6 movies
I've
together.
watched that. I've
Yeah.
watched it.
Have you?
Blackwater. Yeah.
Would you give it 16?
Maybe 18.
Okay.
It's not
You're
fucking
generous.
good.
Yeah.
That's
not
not
great.
good.
So
No, nothing new. Dolph Lundgren or Van Damme's good.
no.
Yeah.
No, this is cash and checks at this
And
moment.
why would you watch them when you've got an abundance of fucking
When
Frank
you got
Grillo?
Grillo running around.
Yeah.
But no, those movies are actually good.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Grillo ones and shit. If you like that sort of shitty.
They're putting
action
effort
stuff.
in. They're not
Yeah.
just living off the name.
Yeah. Whereas those ones are in the same wheelhouse as the new Bruce Willis or
Yes.
the new whatever.
Yeah.
I liked Van Damme in Expendables 2. I thought he was the best thing about that movie.
I can't remember which Expendables is which. I don't
He's the
even know
bad
if
guy.
I've seen them
He's
all.
the villain in the
It
second
made
one.
me sad.
Okay.
Those
I don't
movies.
like 'em.
I was just mostly sad.
Yeah.
I was like, these weathered old men.
I'm a sucker. Sucker for action.
So our guy reeled off between 1985 and 1998. Jean-Claude reeled off No Retreat, No Surrender,
Great.
Bloodsport,
Great.
Cyborg,
Don't.
Oh, I love
Do you?
Cyborg. I
Yeah.
won't hear a bad word said about it, friend.
Sorry, I won't then.
Kickboxer,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Double Impact,
Yeah, I love that one.
Universal Soldier, Hard Target,
Yes.
Put it
He's got a mullet.
He's got that
mullet.
Yeah, I love that fucking movie.
Thick curly hair at the back.
Time Cop,
Yeah.
And we're starting to stretch a bit here. Street Fighter.
Time Cop's good.
I'm in with Time
No,
Cop.
no. After this,
sorry.
yeah.
Street Fighter is a polar dog.
But then, Sudden Death.
Love
Great.
it.
So
Sudden Death's arguably one of his best.
that's why I had
It's
to
most
stretch it.
grounded of all of them.
It's exactly why I had to stretch it out to 98.
Yeah.
Because Street Fighter's a few years
When
earlier
was
than
Sudden
that.
Death? 98.
Yeah.
It's fucking
think so.
I would have thought Sudden Death was 94 or 95.
Don't quote me on that. I better double check that. But I believe that's in chronological order. It might be just in order of awesomeness.
Well, you haven't mentioned maybe the best of all.
What's that?
The Quest.
The Quest, yeah.
Now he's a monkey.
I thought you were going to say Friends.
Nah. Was he in Friends?
Yeah, he's great in Friends.
Nah,
real sleazeball.
The Quest was one of my favourites.
Yeah.
I used to love The Quest.
So I ended up doing a bit of a deep dive on our mate, Jean-Claude. He's a bit of a character. I found an article called How Street Fighter Destroyed His Career. Yeah. So just the facts about this, why this is where he flamed out. So he still managed to
So
pull
what
off Sudden
year?
Death.
What year are we in Street Fighter?
Let me double check that for you.
Mid-90s. Mid-90s.
Mid-90s. We'll just go mid-90s.
Yeah, it's like 93, 94.
Wait, did you mention Legionnaire? I don't think you did.
No, I
I
didn't.
don't think I like
Okay,
Legionnaire
really?
too.
It's
Jesus,
a good
you know
movie,
what?
man.
Isn't that
I'm a massive Jean-Claude guy.
Is that about the disease you catch from air conditioners?
He snap kicks it.
Just
Snap kicks the disease.
This water's filthy. I can't do accents.
Kicks it off the counter.
Street Fighter, I have to tell you now, it's 94.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where, this was quite a long article detailing, he's got an interesting story. So I'll give you some stuff about his background and where he went.
Yeah.
So Street Fighter, he was paid $8 million. So this is the height of his powers.
Yeah.
He was literally the center of a bidding war between the producers of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, who were both trying to get their movies out at the same time.
I wish you went to Mortal Kombat.
Street Fighter was the better known and more popular game, which I didn't remember it that way because I was a Mortal Kombat guy.
Me too.
But apparently Street Fighter was the bigger IP. So he thought they made the right decision. The people who didn't make the right decision, and that can be said about a lot of choices with this movie, was the people who were making Street Fighter.
Oh, garbage.
What they didn't know was that he was off his head on cocaine. And he was so unreliable and, quote, disruptive, he would reportedly just walk off set and go AWOL whenever he wanted. And so much so that the director and the scriptwriters had to rewrite several scenes just to take him out because he just wasn't there.
He just wasn't there.
He was reportedly using 10 grand of coke a week.
Because he was... That's a fair bit, yeah. Haven't done that for a few years. He was kind of not in Street Fighter as much as what you'd expect.
Yeah,
Who did he play? Guile? Was that
Yeah.
character's name? Yeah, you would expect that would be the pinpoint of the movie. But
Yeah.
I don't remember it that well, but I remember him not being in it.
Didn't it
as
end
much
up
as you
being
thought, man.
Raul Julia film?
His last film, yeah.
It
Yeah, he was
ended
really
up
sick
being
in
his
it.
film.
Yeah,
He's the
essentially.
only one that survived it, but then died in real life. But survived the
Who was
critics.
that?
Yeah, Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Raul
Yeah.
Julia.
He was
Adam's
really
family.
sick in that movie
I'm not
too.
sure who Raul Julia
Oh,
is.
really? He was great.
He played Bison in Street Fighter.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, I know him, yeah.
The only person that didn't think he was an absolute fuckhead was Kylie Minogue, who was banging him.
Oh.
Yeah,
perfect.
So
There you go.
I'm just thinking of someone with a massive ego like Jean-Claude Van Damme and $10,000 worth of cocaine a week.
I was gonna say,
what a fucking nightmare!
Was Kylie Minogue getting into the 10 grand?
Yeah, I think she might.
Didn't
have.
Jean-Claude Van Damme get beaten the shit out of by Mickey Rourke at a club?
Is that one of those stories?
They didn't come, that one didn't come up in my research. I've got some fucking funny. Yeah, so I don't know.
Because he's not a fighter; he's a dancer.
Yeah, and Mickey Rourke's a fighter.
Yeah.
You can tell by his face.
He's a boxer.
His career started out quite differently. He was paid 25 grand to appear in Bloodsport.
What about Predator?
Is that all he got for Bloodsport?
So he was... Got you there? Yeah, yep. So the studio initially shelved the film after shooting and intended to quietly release it straight to DVD. Van Damme, quote, begged for the footage and re-edited the entire thing himself.
Jesus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So once he presented the vastly different version to the studio, they immediately released it into cinemas where it grossed over $12 million alone.
It's good, man.
In the US alone on a budget of $1.5 million.
Holy shit.
It's it's a very good movie.
Then boom, he's a
Kickboxer.
star.
Yeah.
He's a star straight away.
Yeah.
Right. However, the pattern repeated in his next movie, Cyborg,
Yeah.
which he personally chose from 3 options the studio put to him. He chose Cyborg out of that. It was to shoot for $2 million, and then he completely re-edited it himself. Right. So that did okay as well.
Perfect.
Yeah. Right.
It's a perfect movie.
His next.
I never liked it. I don't know why. I
fucking
should
love it.
I should like it, but I just...
So increasingly high on his own supply,
Yeah.
he's then trying the next same thing with his next film. The problem is that it's Hard Target, directed by John Woo.
Yes.
Oh, you ain't touching that shit.
John Woo was so aggrieved by Jean-Claude Van Damme's intrusion into his artistic process that it soured him on Hollywood.
Right.
He still, to this fucking day, talks about how pissed he was about that experience because he thought it was just so rude that an actor would think that he could come into the editing room and tell John fucking Woo how to re-edit his film.
Which that would just be a Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them.
And to that point, Jean-Claude Van Damme, he was the goose that laid the golden egg to an extent. He was like, it's pretty hard not to have a bit of hubris when you've completely re-edited. You're just a kickboxer, dancer, bouncer or whatever.
Yeah.
And you've re-edited the film. It made 12 million.
Yeah.
It's going to give you a little bit of gassing up, isn't it? So he became increasingly difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Till he spun out of control with a Street Fighter. And then he pretty much got ostracized from... He just became too difficult to deal with, cocaine and that ego. Yeah. Pretty much the problem is that the first thing most people mention when they talk about him is ego, which is never really a good recommendation.
No.
But he's had an interesting life. He was a trained ballet dancer, as we said before. He is actually had a pretty good pro kickboxing career. Yeah. He's 18-1.
Oh shit!
All wins by knockout.
So he is
and
actually,
broken arm.
He's actually he's a kickboxer as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he might have been fighting powder puffs.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. It might have been his under 16 record for all I know, but the internet says that. He's one of these actors, and these guys fucking hated in Hollywood, who struggles with fake combat. He's not good at pulling punches. He knocked out co-star Peter Cummings in Kickboxer, I think it was.
Yeah.
More than once. And people don't like working with you when you knock them out.
Yeah.
He's been married 5 times. And before he broke through into movies...
That's a lot.
Yeah. It seems excessive.
Maybe marriage isn't for you.
I think double figures.
After a couple,
Jean-Claude, have you considered moving to Portland and taking up polyamory? Yeah. And before he broke through in movies, he was a sparring partner with Chuck Norris, who helped him get along a little bit.
There you go.
Okay, and one last fact that I could have gone all day with Jean-Claude facts, but
could you?
One of my favourites, he's wanted to fight Steven Seagal for most of the 90s. And I've got a little story here. In 2008, actor Sylvester Stallone declared to the British magazine FHM. Do you remember FHM?
I do remember
FHM. Him magazine.
We used to be a country. At a party at my home in Miami, this is a quote from Sly. At a party in my home in Miami in 1997, Van Damme was tired of Steven Seagal claiming he could kick ass, so he offered Seagal outside in my backyard. According to Stallone, Seagal made excuses and left, while Van Damme tracked him down to a nightclub and challenged him again.
The fucking ego on this man.
Stallone finished by
He
stating...
just wants to bang. Man.
Incredible.
He does.
He wants to fight. He does. He just wants to do the splits and fight and show his glistening ass checks.
He wants to fight.
Stallone finished by stating Van Damme was too strong. Seagal wanted none of it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Fucking back in the day before camera phones, it would have been a travesty if this went down.
Oh, yeah.
But in the modern days, to see those two bulls going out in the backyard, yes,
Great.
please.
Nice.
Any other Van Damme thoughts before we move on to our guy Dolph?
No, I'm a Van Damme guy.
I'm a Van Damme guy. Yeah, love it. Love him to bits. Cyborg's one of the greatest.
So Dolph Lundgren in this movie, his name is Sergeant Andrew Scott.
Yeah.
Metacritic score of 49 from 42 movies.
That's good.
Yeah. Now this guy's got...
Well, he's got the Rockies and shit in there.
Yeah, also Hail Caesar, 72. That helps. He was also in Blackwater. It's also his lowest score, so he's fucking staying with that as well. So he was known for Rocky 4, Masters of the Universe, Red Scorpion, and more recently Aquaman and The Expendables. He's pissed about...
Is he an Aquaman?
He's an Aquaman 2 as well.
He's one of the kings.
Yeah, he's not happy about Aquaman 2. Oh. He says he's been marginalised because he's in most scenes with Amber Heard, so he's been really harshly edited out. Oh. So he's a bit annoyed about that.
Right.
Interesting guy, though. Fun facts-wise, he's got some interesting stuff. I found it really interesting how he became an actor. He holds a master's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Sydney.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very smart.
When we went to Bali, there's heaps of pictures of Dolph Lundgren. He has a house in Bali.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, wow. So if we hang around...
I think I remember that. Isn't
Yeah,
it like the scuba dive place or something?
No,
there's photos of him on the wall.
The trawler. They had
Is that what it
fucking
was?
heaps of photos with them and
There you go.
Dolph
Really?
Lundgren. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he's a big tipper? I reckon he is.
Oh, yeah. I think he's a great guy.
I think he would be.
Yeah.
I think me and Dolph could have a few beers, have a laugh.
Yeah, only a couple.
I don't think I could do that with Van Damme.
No.
Because he challenged me to a fight.
Yeah, he'd be on
We'd
the
both
back.
be on cocaine. Fucking two big boys banging out the back.
One of them with their naked ass cheeks
Yeah,
glistening in the moon.
glistening.
So he was spotted by Grace Jones in a
yeah.
Sydney nightclub where he was working whilst he was studying.
That's crazy.
He was a bouncer. So she hired him as her bodyguard. They later became lovers, and he moved with her to New York City where she was pursuing modelling, and he dabbled in a little modelling himself. Whilst living in New York City, he worked at night as a bouncer and studied acting during the day.
There you
Oh,
go.
wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good guy.
I'm really impressed by his story. Like I've skipped over his education here, but I've marginalised that. He's Swedish. Of course, he's got a great education.
Yeah. Is that what he is? Swedish?
Yeah.
dog?
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, he said, and this is a quote from him, he said, "My time in New York City opened my adolescent Swedish eyes to the multitude of different people and lifestyles, mostly in the arts. I hung out with Andy Warhol, Keith Haring, Aman, and Steve Rubell, and danced at Studio 54 and studied acting with Andy McDowell and Tommy Hulse."
There you
That's
go.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
And
he
then
got,
he's just out here churning out fucking, B-grade action movies.
and we're just talking about how great he looked in a
20 years.
necklace of ears.
Yeah.
He got his break into acting in '85 in the Bond film View to a Kill because Grace Jones was in it and recommended him for a role.
Okay,
Oh, good.
So he had a minor role in that.
Don't remember that.
And then, obviously, his breakthrough, as we all know, is Drago in Rocky IV.
Yes.
He won that role by sending Sylvester Stallone videos of himself. Sly initially rejected him because he was just too tall, too big, but changed his mind, and the rest is history.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. I thought it was a really interesting origin story for
Yeah, it's
someone that
wicked.
you would probably...
That's a great little story.
Yeah, not believe has that sort of an interesting background.
And I can confirm something about... Are you moving on from Dolph Lundgren?
Mm.
I can confirm something else about Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren, the name with no spaces, has been my home Wi-Fi password for about 15 years
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah, so if you ever come to my house, just type in Dolph Lundgren. Very good.
I'm very just briefly going to touch on Ali Walker, played Veronica. Metacritic score of 64 from 27 movies. She's a very familiar face, but
I can't tell you what
it's one of those ones where, is it because she was imprinted on my brain when I was 12 or whatever, and this movie came out when I was fucking 18. Anyway, she is in every procedural crime and court drama series ever.
Really?
She's in your SVUs, she's in your CSIs, she's in your New York, Miami's, whatever.
Yeah.
She's
Any
been-
other movies?
She was in Kazam with Sinbad. I mean Shaq.
Oh, we're going to do that? The
she was in-
Mandela effect? Yeah.
And she was also in While You Were Sleeping.
Okay.
But I don't know if she was one of the people who were awake or not. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
So is that kind of it?
That's
for
essentially it. Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's weird, right?
She's good.
She was good in this.
She's got enough charisma.
What's the problem?
Don't know. Maybe
You
she
don't have
didn't
a story about
she
it?
didn't want to fuck
Maybe
Harvey
she got
She was
Weinstein.
doing that 10 grand a coke.
Shit work ethic.
Maybe it's the cigarettes.
Yeah, she smokes a lot.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But she
I've
doesn't
never
finish them.
I never missed cigarettes more than I did watching this movie.
Really?
I just
Yeah.
wanted a cigarette so bad.
Yeah, when she's lighting them up. Yeah.
Just
I wonder how she
non-stop.
smelled. I wonder how she smelled.
Who
Anyway,
cares? That guy does dead nostrils.
like Impulse and Marlboro. Ed Ross or John Belushi, who could tell? He
Yeah.
played Colonel Perry.
Yeah.
Really got John Belushi with a kind of different nose vibe, hey? It's like
Yeah,
if John
yeah.
Belushi
That's
had,
all right.
yeah. He was in Full Metal Jacket, Lethal Weapon, Red Heat with John Belushi.
Yeah.
Confusing. Another 48 Hours and Action Jackson.
Oh, shit.
been around.
He's been working in TV
Nice
for the
little
last couple of
resume.
years. Yeah. And he was good in this movie. He was also well cast. I
Yeah,
thought.
he was fine.
Yeah. So that's it for cast. I've just got some fun facts because some crazy shit about this movie.
Go.
The Vietnam scenes were actually filmed in Kingman, Arizona golf course with the set dressings and fake foliage.
Okay, that's fake. So I'm half right. When I said it's in a studio,
Set dressings and
Yeah.
fake foliage means
Yeah.
that you're pretty much
I'm
correct.
in a studio.
But I didn't see, I mean, how are we going to pick a golf course? I didn't see
Yeah.
you didn't see the rough.
Yeah.
Predator was built in a golf course too. Filmed
Oh
in
yeah,
a
we
golf-
didn't. Sorry, I said I'd talk about Predator. We didn't, but Jean-Claude Van Damme was fired from Predator, which we talk about in our
That's right. He was going to
Predator
be the
episode.
Revisit the Predator
suit.
podcast.
Check out that
Listen to
classic.
that.
Can't go wrong. Good time. Nearly all of the ice required for filming, not the cocaine, the ice,
yes.
was an estimated 400 kilos. Came from
Because I guess it keeps melting.
Yeah.
So they got to keep bringing it in. Yeah.
It came from the local 7-Eleven in Arizona, and the manager of that store, whose name is Joaquim Alvarez.
Yeah.
His sales were so high that he was invited on a tour of the Nugget Ice Corporation factory because he was like salesman of the year.
Selling fucking eyes.
So like, you're really good at your job, bro.
Who's buying all this? Eskimos?
Do you know what this is how, as a salesperson
Super
by
soldiers.
trade, my immediate thought was, he's fucked next year.
Oh, yeah, he can't do
When
anything.
they're like, excuse me, Joachim, can you explain the 400% drop in your sales this year? And he'd be like, this was the last film recorded in CDS, which was the early digital sound format. Last film ever. In the following year, after the film's release, sound technicians developed a DTS, which is the digital format still used today.
There you go.
Wow.
So I didn't notice the difference in sound. I thought it was fine.
I assume it's probably been remastered by now and all that. Did you watch it on? What was it on again?
Google. It's on Stan, but it's not on anything else apart from Stan.
I watched it on Stan.
No,
yeah, that's how I watched
it. I don't have Stan, so
I had to rent
it.
it.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Google TV.
Sorry to hear that.
The Kingman Police Department in Arizona supplied all the officers that were extras for the scene where the bus pulls away. They were real cops.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hope no crime was going on in Kingman, Arizona.
Didn't look like there'd be a heat going on there.
Hope no one was having a barbecue
for
because there's fucking no ice for your esky either. And someone's at the 7-Eleven going, come on, Joachim, for fuck's sake, where's the ice? And this was, I wanted to mention in regards to the weapon and armaments in this film, which is why I think it's held up so well. The highly specialised load-bearing equipment worn by the Unisols was custom-made by Eagle Industries for the film.
Oh, cool.
Eagle Industries are a big weapons manufacturer in the US. They're
Yeah.
kind of at the pointy end of the US industrial military complex.
Okay.
So they're a big deal over there because they're called Eagle fucking Industries,
Yeah,
man. Eagle! Freedom Eagle Industries. So this is for anyone who knows anything about guns. It doesn't mean anything to me, but including the thigh holster for the Desert Eagle 357 Magnum, which also held 2 extra magazines and Cold Steel Magnum Tanto. The shoulder holster harness, submachine guns, and the pistols, extra magazines, grenades, all of it was built by this company specifically for this movie.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
To make them look a bit more futuristic or something.
Yeah, to make it look more realistic. So I thought for the most part that all the weapons, if you put them in a film today, you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's the sort of thing that means that it still holds up.
All they needed was a better communication system. Those terrorists just had Walkmans.
Yes, true. yeah.
And they just put the headphones on their Walkman.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so good.
And that's all facts and whatnot.
That's great. That was good. I liked the Van Damme story.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot of that.
Yeah. There you go.
We learned
I knew about the hard to work with an ego thing and all that.
Yeah. It's just a bit of a...
what have I got? I've got some final thoughts about this film. I say... if you're going to do a Van Damme movie from 92, I think that's how you got to kind of watch it. Mm-hmm. Like if you're going to watch it critically, you go, it's a fucking Van Damme movie from 92, right? So I'm not going into that movie expecting a fucking work of art. No. I'm expecting a Van Damme movie from 92.
I want to see a Van Damme movie.
I'm expecting some cool action scenes, a decent enough plot,
a damn Van Damme movie,
decent enough pace,
splits.
I want some ultra violence. Yeah. I want a fucking good villain.
I want some taunt buttocks.
And I want some slinging snap kicks to the head.
Love a slinging.
And did I get all of that?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I got all of that. So it's great. Its only faults, I think, are the same faults that every one of those movies from that era had, and they're only faults if you watch them in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch them in 92, they're not actually faults. So how this film got 35 by the critics,
that's unbelievable.
It's pretty good filmmaking.
Yeah,
it's just maybe not your sort of thing, you dickhead. That doesn't make it a bad movie. Like, what kind of critic are you?
Chicken shit.
Yeah. So I'm giving this movie a strong 72. And if you disagree with me, I'll cut your ears off and I'll wear them as a necklace.
Yes.
And that's it.
Righto.
Short and sweet. I love this movie. I loved it when I was younger. I loved it now. It was a really good movie to revisit, I think. So thank you to all the people that voted for it. And I suggest if you voted for it, give it a watch as well. I guarantee if you voted for this movie, there's a reason why you voted for this movie.
Yeah, revisit it.
Yeah, I think it still holds up to what I remember, which is very hard, especially doing this podcast. There's a few movies like, I fucking love this movie. Then I rewatch and went, oh my God, I don't actually love it as much as I thought.
Yeah.
But this movie, it held up. It was good for me.
Over 30 years old and it still looked good and felt pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm a big 80s action guy. I'm a big 90s action guy. I'm action all the way. People call me Action Jackson.
We're going to test it.
No one's ever
that
called
knowledge
you
in the mini. So keep talking it up.
Yeah, I will. And I've got some knowledge on... Oh, don't.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Low expectations.
Anyway, but if I'm watching a Lundgren movie and a Van Damme movie, this is the best I'm going to get. Super Soldiers, futuristic, Baracus. I'm all for it. Loved it.
Debo.
Two endings. Loved it. So for me, it's a strong 71 as well.
Wow.
Great.
So,
Great.
Up and about.
What do you got, PJ?
This held up so much better than I remember. And it was just a good time. And like I said, it knew what it was.
Yeah.
It didn't try to overstretch itself. Wasn't stressed about making things too deep, or essentially wasn't deep at all.
No.
But it was a fucking good time, and it's, in my opinion, like 90% of the fact that this is actually a quality film. It's like at the very top end of your. I was going to say straight to DVD, but that's an insult to it.
It's you know what
It's
it
like
is?
a
It's
B plus.
It's a strong. It's at the top end of mid-tier action.
Yes, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And all of that is down to our German friend Roland Emmerich.
Yes.
Like, he just knew what he was doing, and they just, whether it was luck or they knew what they were doing by bringing him over here, either way, whoever managed to get him to make this movie is the hero.
For sure.
Hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why, as I've said all the way through this, that's why it holds up so well in my opinion.
Yep.
And that's why everyone's doing just enough to make it, to carry this film through. I had a good time. I'm going to give it 65.
Great.
Nice.
All right.
Yep.
That's nice.
And on the mini,
yeah, tell us.
we're going to do, as you said, we're doing our top 5 from the golden age of action,
Yes.
85 to 95.
Great.
And
I need another week to prepare for that. Yeah.
Well, you better cram, because I've got a quiz about movies, action movies from 85 to 95.
Sign me up, brother.
And it gets wild.
Sign
So
me
join
up.
us for that one.
As long as you reference a couple of the Chuck Norris missing in actions, then I'm happy.
No further comment at this time.
Okay.
I need some Lewis Cossack Jr. friend.
Yeah, you want the fucking principal?
Yeah, give me the principal.
Oh, you want the principal?
Give me some
Give me a
Tom
couple of-
Berger too.
give me a
as
couple
well.
of heavy hitters over here. From I was like 4 years old at this time. But I was watching him.
Here's the gun. He was in Eagle. Wasn't that Top Gun knockoff? What was that Eagle one?
Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle.
Iron
Yeah.
Eagle, yeah, that's right.
Fuck yeah. I'm okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks
fun.
for listening.
Love you all.
God damn, what a rush.
See you next week.
What the hell are you staring at? Do you have any idea what it's like out there? Do you? When I'm fighting this thing, man, I kick ass. You kiss ass. And I'm busting heads. It's the only way to win this fucking war. These shitheads. These yellow traitory motherfuckers. They're everywhere. And I, Sergeant Andrew Scott of the U.S. Army,